If this is your first time here, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Victor Isibo, aka the YouTube Motivator. I believe that at the end of this video, or even before the video gets midway, you're going to find a reason to want to subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell notification icon, and become a member of the family. Why would you want to subscribe? Because on this channel, I talk about motivationals, I talk about life lessons, financial edification, moral edification, spiritual edification, pretty much everything that makes you a better version of yourself. And for my returning viewers and subscribers, salute. Now, it's beautiful when you're planting, but it is sweeter when you're harvesting, because that is the time to reap what you have sown. So 2 months ago, I planted something, and 3 days ago, I was able to reap the thing. You're curious to know what I planted and what I reaped? Then watch this video right till the end. So I have this friend of mine who is a senior civil servant, but he's always lamenting about his finances. He doesn't have enough money to spend. He has a wife and he has 3 kids. He finds it difficult to feed his family. So he's always complaining anytime I see him. I'm like, dude, why don't you get your wife doing something? She could be selling something, or she could get a job or something, anything, so that she can support you financially, so that you will stop complaining. And he was like, oh, they've not been able to come up with a good business idea for her to do. And I asked her, what skill does she have? He said she doesn't have any skill, she doesn't have any experiences, she doesn't have any know-how, nothing. So I was like, okay, let me speak with her, maybe we can come up with something. He was like, fine, that I should come over for lunch on a weekend. I like food, so I will be there for lunch that weekend. So we fixed a Saturday, and 2 p.m. I was in their house, and the wife was very, very hospitable, and she served us lunch. White rice and stew. Mwah, delicious. So as we were eating together, I was like, madam, this stew is delicious. Do you have a secret recipe you want to share with me? And she was like, no secret recipe. And the tomatoes and the pepper, they're nice. Tell me how your experience at the market was. So she was like, she went to get the tomatoes and pepper, and she went to get the melon. And I said, after getting those two, what did you do? She said she went over to the grinder's place, the grinder's unit of the market, to grind. I said, okay, what happened? She said there were plenty of grinders, but everywhere was packed, full. So she looked at the grinder with the least number of waiting customers, and she joined the queue. 7 people on the queue already. So I'm like, wow. So what happened? She said they used the grinding machine to grind the tomatoes, and that the woman's daughter grinded the melon for her with the handheld grinding machine. Hey, so madam, what business do you want to go into? She was like, oh, she doesn't know that she and her husband has been brainstorming and they couldn't come up with anything, that she's tired. It's not her fault. Many people don't know what business to do. So I was like, madam, I have a business idea for you. She was like, okay, try and let's see. I said, why don't you start grinding machine business? And she was like, is it because I told you I went to the market and I grinded? No, it's not. You're not the only one who grinds. You're not. Everybody who goes to the market in Nigeria to buy pepper and tomatoes and melon and ogbono, they always grind at the market. They don't want to get home to start washing those tomatoes and grinding again, okay? Because their husbands are probably already hungry. So they want to grind everything at the market, get home, and boom, start cooking. That is how it happens in Nigeria. So it's a lucrative business, and that is the one I want you to start. And she was like, but I don't know anything about the business. I said, you don't have to know anything about the business. Victor Isibo is here. Hello. I'm going to give you all the information you need to know about that business. And she was like, fire on. I said, okay. I said, well, there are 2 types of grinding machines that you'll find in our major marketplaces. You have the electrical one, which can also run on gas, and you have the manual one. Okay, the manual one is the handheld one, you know, that is clipped to the edge of a bench. Those of you who go to the markets, you will know what I'm talking about. The handheld, they use it to grind melon with crayfish and ogbono with crayfish, okay, they put a bowl underneath it and somebody is winding it, and is grinding and it's coming out, okay. That manual machine goes for about 15,000 naira. It's not costly. Now the mechanical and electrical machine, that grinds, which also runs on, it has a tank, it has a little tank above it. You can use fuel, you can use diesel, whatever. That one has a hopper where you put the tomatoes and the pepper, okay. That one is anywhere between 55 and 75,000 naira for a very good one. So I discussed this with them and I told them that, see, if you're buying both, which I suggest, the manual and the electrical one, now you're going to be spending maximum 90,000 naira. So with 100,000 naira, you're good to go to start this grinding machine business in Nigeria. Some people call it pepper grinding machine business. So you're good to go. And the husband was like, we can work with that. 100,000 naira is not so much. We can work with that. And they were like, what's the best location for the business? I said, well, the best location for the business is the marketplace. If you feel that it's too saturated, then you can put the engine in front of your compound outside your gate and you're grinding. But my number one recommendation is that you take it to the marketplace, because that's where you have unlimited traffic and you're going to be making a lot of money. And I jovially asked the husband, how much is your salary on a monthly basis? He was like, oh, that he earns 95,000 naira on a monthly basis. And I told him, if your wife starts this business, she's going to be the one spending all the money in this house, because you are not going to be earning as much as she does if she starts this business. They now asked me questions. How do we get the machine? Where do we get the machine? What brand should we get? And stuff like that. So I gave them a few contacts as per people who sell these machines. And I told them to tell the sellers that they're from me and that they should give them the best of these machines so that they can start. Now, these machines don't have top brands like that. These machines are locally made by Nigerian engineers, okay. So it's not a quality based kind of machine. I mean, any one is good, so long as the belts are good and the alignment is fine, you're good to go. So get them all the contacts and I left. I went out of town as usual and I was incommunicado. I couldn't be reached because I traveled very far and there was no service where I went to. So I arrived a few days ago back in town after like 2 months. Then I decided that Madam should take a rest. Let me go to the market myself, because we're looking to make stew and we're looking to make soup. So I went to the marketplace, I got my tomatoes, I got my melon, crayfish and the rest of them. And the woman who sold those things for me described a place where I could go and grind it. I got to where I was going to grind it. Guess who was running the business? My friend's wife. She was delighted to see me, because apparently they had been trying to reach me, they had been trying to locate me, they had been trying to update me. I wasn't to be reached as at that point in time, so she was happy to see me. I saw her grinding, and I'm going to show you at a later clip, later in this video, how my experience with her was while she was grinding my tomatoes. I was able to cover that, but I didn't have her permission to put her on camera, but I covered the scenario so that you could see. So she was very happy and she was grinding for me, and I was not asking her questions like, how much do you make on a daily basis? Right now, she told me that right now I want to grind tomatoes with the electrical machine, and I'm going to grind the melon with the manual handheld type. Her son was doing that for me while she was at the engine with her daughter. Okay, she said now the handheld machine, depending on quantity, the minimum is 100 naira, and that for the electrical machine, that one is like minimum of 200 naira, depending on quantity of what you want to grind. It could be more. So typically Nigerians, when they go to the market, they always aim to make stew and soup at the same time. So when you come to that woman, the minimum you're spending is 200 for your tomatoes and pepper and 100 naira for your melon or ogbono. So most people spend like 300 naira minimum when they come to her. I was like, okay, what is the minimum number of customers you get on a daily basis, on a typical day in the market? So she told me that on a very bad day, at the market, maybe there was a heavy downpour of rain and stuff like that, 20 people on a very bad day. 20 people. Now, I quickly did the mathematics. 20 times 300, that's 6,000 naira. So if this woman goes to the market every day and every day of the month happens to be a bad day, which is not possible, then she would be making 180,000 naira on a monthly basis, almost twice the salary of her husband. Okay, so when I gave her this analysis, she was like, oh, that the bad days are very few, that typically on a very good day she can get up to 50 customers. Now, there are plenty of grinding machines at the market, but you see, the demand for the grinding machine is way and above the supply. So a typical marketplace in Nigeria, you're running pepper grinding machine business, you're going to be making a lot of money. Now this is not buying and selling where you have to be careful so as not to spend your profits deep into your capital, where you have to be taking stock. This is a services business. Buy the machine, you're good to go, and the machine keeps giving you money. What are the tools that you need for this kind of business? You just need a spare belt, in case the belt snaps while in operation. You need this small wood, like it's going to be like a small mortar, because when the grinding machine is working, the grinder tends to push the tomatoes and the pepper towards the surface of the hopper. Then what you do is you use that wood to push it back in. Women who go to the market in Nigeria, they know what I'm talking about. Then the manual one doesn't need any form of technology. Just screw it to the edge of a seat or a bench, and you can always wind and grind things for people. It's as simple as that. Now let's go to the short clip that I recorded while I was with this woman, and you see a sneak peek of what happens with this kind of machine. You see, so now this channel, is sending out a message. Okay, no matter the capital you have for business in Nigeria, there is something for you to do. Do not listen to the naysayers that tell you, oh, Nigeria is too bad, too many problems in Nigeria. Entrepreneurs look for problems. The higher the number of problems in a country, the higher the business opportunities, the amount of business opportunities in that country. Nigeria is the best place to do business. If you're a Nigerian, you're in diaspora, and you're looking to help some of your relatives at home, instead of you to be sending money to them every now and then when they have needs, like sending them fish, teach them to fish. There is a business for everybody that they can do. This grinding machine business, if you don't want all the noise at the marketplace, or you can't get a place, put it in front of your compound. Put it in front of your compound. When they want to grind, people will always grind. People will always grind. Hello? People will always grind. They will come knocking. It's like people will be bringing their money to you. You just run your engine for 10 minutes, you have 300 naira. I mean, it's as simple as that, and it's lovely. Let me see your reaction in the comment section below about this very lucrative business. Give this video a like, because that way you're telling the YouTube algorithm that, wow, this is a lovely video. More and more people need to see it. Yeah, and subscribe to this channel if this was your first time. My returning subscribers and viewers, salute. Thank you very much for sticking around. Without you, there'll be no me. Until I see you next time with another awesome, educative, enlightening, and eye-opening video, I remain Victor Isibo. Thank you for too kind. Bye for now.